March 24th, 2020, 6 p.m. It's about, what, 12 degrees out. Beautiful sunshine. And I'm just taking out the old comb from the old hives. And I got them kind of separated here between the two different types of honey comb. So this is nice light ones. And then here's like the darker, older ones. And I'm just gonna basically collect these and basically melt them down and use them for more stuff. New foundations, other arts and crafts, and it's fairly simple. I used an old box here. It's just a 8-frame box, and that collects all the wax that I shave off, and I just use this huge chisel and I lay it on the side and I just basically scrape away at it. Although I can't do that very well right now because I'm holding the camera, but here it is, like simple. Run your blade down the frame, and this is like last year's honeycomb, and because it's all kind of furry and everything, I just want to get rid of it. Yeah, so just to show you how cool these look really awesome. You got a little honeycomb there. It just basically peeled right off, so that's what it looks like. It's just, this wax is made by the bees out of these little glands they have inside on the underside of their abdomen, and they manage to measure out exactly the distance between each individual cell, so that every one of them is exactly the same diameter, same dimensions, and it's just one of those things bees do. It's actually very strong. Like if I were to put in quite a lot of force here to squeeze it, crush it, but like it takes a lot of effort for me to break this thing. April 15, 2020. I'm just melting wax right now and putting it into the little containers. And the easiest way to do that is I scraped off this old wax from the frames last week, put it into one of these trays, and then I'm using a bit of a rice cooker. It's a rice cooker with some water in it, and this other smaller pot inside. And inside this pot I just basically throw this wax in there, and it'll melt in a little bit of time. And as it melts, I just basically get it all ready, and I pour it into one of these. It comes out like that. You can see it's starting to solidify. So it's pretty simple, and you can just use your bunch of stuff from the inside the house, and you don't need to get any special equipment, and it won't really damage anything because it's just wax. It cleans up when it dries up, when it hardens up into solid. So one of the cool things about wax is it's light. It floats above all the other gunk. This brown stuff is just gunk, and that just gets stuck at the bottom of the pot, but the actual good wax is at the very top, and that's exactly what happens here once I filter it. You know, the top half is all wax. The bottom half is probably just a bit of water that I had to use beforehand, just so I could maybe melt this wax down a little bit faster. But basically, that's all there's to it. See all that? That's beautiful, fresh wax. And I really just used the old honey frames. So this should be the cleanest possible wax that I could obtain anyway. I mean, I could melt that down and filter it again, but I don't think I need to do that. So again, what I do, I just take a piece of fabric and I put it inside the container, just like that. And I'll take this out and pour it in. So about the top of that container. I don't care if these bits of solids and so on get in there. I'm just going to filter them out. Put this back in the pot. Pick this up more or less carefully, I mean, I got some on the other side of it, but that's okay. I'll just dip them back in, and I can just wait till that hardens, and I'll put it back in. And then I pick this up and I'll filter it. I just need 2 hands for it. That's the only problem. So here I am, basically just going to pick this up, filter through all of the honey, and you can see it's just coming through easy. There it goes. Just pure filtered honey coming through. And once that's done, I'll just fill it back up with some more. Pour some more of that wax into this fabric, and that'll be the next batch of filtered honey, filtered wax. And here's the result. Pure, clean, glorious wax. It's just heat and a filter. So as you're filtering the wax through this and into the container, it's nice to put the container on a piece of foil, because it'll spill over, and as it spills over, you're not going to lose that. It's just going to be, it'll dry up and solidify onto or cool down and solidify onto the aluminum foil, and then you can bend the foil easily and pop out this nice chunk of wax, throw it back in there, and let it melt down so you can filter it and pour it into the container, just like these guys. The reason I use I use this cotton fabric to filter it is because it's so fine that all these other impurities get collected through it, and the honey just pours through very clean. And that's the key, because before I would get a lot of gunk in with my wax, and that's the gunk that I don't need. So that just gets stuck in behind this fabric because it's just too fine. It's too fine to let these gunky particles get through.